At the beginning of stage 2, Munir Khan and Sam Jethwa had a 19-second lead and only needed to maintain the pace to secure victory. But they had already blown one shock absorber, and when a second shock blew, they were forced to back off. They eventually lost over a minute on the stage and had to accept second, and the championship race was over.
Before I knew the results, I was very nervous and all. I thought I had won the rally because Adnan also had a problem. But anyway, luck was on his side. Next year, definitely, we are going for it.
Adnan Suhail and Absalom Aswani were unaware of Munir's problems and remained committed to the end. They stormed through the stage, not only regaining the 19 seconds they'd given away, but added over a minute to the score to take the category win. This was their second consecutive win, but were too far behind in the championship for it to make a difference.
Do you wish you hadn't had bad luck earlier on?
It's a learning curve. You have to have bad luck. You have to have problems in order to do better. There's always light at the end of the tunnel. So I think so. We are seeing the light right now.
There we are, Absalom Aswani and Adnan Suhail, the winners of the KCB.
Only 7 of the 16 starters in the category finished, with all but the top 3 having only recently taken up the sport. Adnan Suhail had eventually won by 77 seconds, and whilst it was little consolation, Munir Khan was on the podium for the 5th time in 8 rallies. Despite not finishing, Leonardo Baresi took the championship title by 4 points ahead of Munir Khan, who has now been the runner-up for the 2nd year running. Throughout the year, several classics have made intermittent appearances, challenging for the Classic Car Cup, comprising mainly of Datsun 240Zs and Ford Escort RSs. More often than not, the cars have been entered as a testing ground for the biannual East African Safari Classic, which will next take place at the end of 2011.
Ian Duncan, starting 3rd off
the most regular and most enthusiastic competitor has been Aslam Khan, driving a Ford Escort. But having missed the last 3 events, his lead in the series had been eroded. 4 classics took part in the KCB Guru Nanak rally, including Samit Gehlot and Asif Patel, who had already won the 2010 Classic crown. And it didn't matter when they were forced into retirement. Only 2 of the 4 finished, including Giancarlo Schiraldi and Nick Patel, driving one of the Escorts. Reaching the finish was a welcome relief after a string of retirements through the season. Taking the category win were veterans John Rose and Mike Borisov, driving a Datsun 280Z. This was their 2nd outing in the car, and they were simply uncatchable. Samit Gehlot eventually won the Classic Car Cup title by 10 points from Giancarlo Schiraldi, with the defending title holder Aslam Khan in 3rd. Throughout the year, the entry list has been boosted on each event, with new drivers taking up the sport and others returning in new cars, such as Anthony Thibault and Kavit Dave, who have only recently made an impression after acquiring an Impreza.
It's hard to go 100% when I don't know what my 100% is. So when I can go, I'm really driving hard. When I can't, I'm taking it easy over the rough because I'm doing it with old tires. And
what are your aspirations?
KNRC champion 2015.
They are the epitome of the future of the sport, and finishing 15th on this event was a major result. This was also Sandeep Jandu and Gurdeep Mihangra's first full year in a competitive car, and in between keeping us entertained, they have become seasoned competitors. They were taking no chances on this event and had installed yet another new computer, but this didn't help when they got caught in dust, which pushed them down to 19th.
Today we are running on a different computer. I've put an Apple, as you said last time. Put an Apple. I have done that. And the car is going much faster now. The only problem we are having is we're catching up the front runners so fast that we're actually stuck in the dust for many kilometers.
All the newcomers and those still exploring their potential were competing for the Division 3 honours. We're on board with Kuram Butt and Salim Khan near the end of stage 5. They finished 14th, giving an indication of the pace that was needed to even get this high up the leaderboard. The Division 3 honours were firmly in the hands of Galib Haji and Surinder Saddle, who had accumulated the points following a string of consistent finishes, which is always the key to success. All they needed on this event was a finish to take the title, and drove with this in mind rather than take the risk of losing the opportunity to upgrade next year. Another consistent crew are Shazar Anwar and Job Njiru. They have proved that rallying does not need to be a high-budget affair and have finished every rally that they have entered since building the hybrid pickup. They finished again, adding to their tally of points in the division board.
It's an old car, it's got old suspensions, old body, keeps falling apart every now and then. I see a new hole in the floor. So, but we're chugging along.
And it must be quite easy for you as a navigator because it's not a very quick car.
It never gets easy. With all the twists and turns, I don't want the mistake to be blamed on me.
There's a story behind every crew taking part. This is Charles Hinga and Norris Ongalo, who had started the year in a two-wheel drive until Adona, seeing their potential, loaned them an Evo 7, and they haven't looked back.
Yeah, I'm trying to just take it easy a bit because the last 2 times I've pushed the car and then I've gotten punctures. So this time round I decided I'll take it a bit easy and see what I can do without a puncture. Next year, Division 3 will definitely be mine. I'll go for it.
Jasmeet Chana and George Njoroge have also upgraded, but theirs was a career move. Having won the two-wheel drive championship, it was time to move on. And after a successful season driving a Toyota GT4, a return to the top can't be far away. After a forced break, Quinton Mitchell and Chris Davis were back, testing a Subaru N16, which they plan to use on the ARC circuit next year. All chances of top placing were lost when a wheel broke on stage 1, relegating them to the bottom of the leaderboard. They eventually regained an impressive 33 places to finish 11th, to take 3rd in the division.
We would really like to do the ARC, if we're being honest. You know, something different, international rallies, and try and get an African championship under our belt.
Hardeep Resi and Ravi Soni had proved throughout the season that they are misplaced in Division 3 and were once again in the midst of the top 10. Their only drawback is the need to preserve the car, and as soon as their budget opens up, they will be formidable contenders. They finished 7th to take 2nd in the division.
When you returned to the sport, did you ever actually want to sort of take on the top boys?
Of course, that's why I'm here. That goes without saying. Why would you rally otherwise?